still Bush. To number 3, Poison Gate. The Michigan Messenger reports that flooding from a river contaminated with dioxin has left the toxic chemical in the soil at West Michigan Park in Saginaw Township. For years, the EPA has known dioxin causes cancer, damages endocrine and immune systems, and can affect fetal development. So last year, the Government Accountability Office suggested Mr. Bush's EPA ought to hurry up its dioxin report so it could start enforcing laws against dioxin. Mr. Bush said no. This week, President Obama said yes, after last week having frozen the cleanup negotiations with Dow Chemical, talks that have been criticized for their secrecy under Mr. Bush. Dow now says it will clean up the dioxin at West Michigan Park. Number 2, Representative Democracy Gate. President Bush won the presidential election of 2000 despite losing the popular vote, thanks not only to the Republican-leaning Supreme Court, but also to the suppression of Democratic votes, most notably here in Florida. Despite that scandal, Mr. Bush won again in 2004 in another election marred by voter access irregularities, most notably in the decisive state that year, Ohio. But at least he managed to fix this democracy by 2008, right? A new study concluding at least 4 million Americans did not vote last year due to registration or absentee ballot problems, approximately the same number of voters who encountered such problems in 2000. And number 1, Taliban Gate. The Associated Press reporting that a Taliban operations chief named Mullah Abdullah Zakir has been put in charge of countering Obama's surge of troops to Afghanistan. Zakir had been captured back in 2001 by the Northern Alliance and turned over to U.S. forces. So how is he now free to plan the death of the American military service people? Mr. Bush set him free. In December 2007, President Bush handed Zakir and a dozen other Guantanamo detainees over to the Afghan government, which promptly released them, which means one of two things again. Either Mr. Bush tossed an innocent man into Guantanamo, thus creating a terrorist who will likely have American blood on his hands all too soon, or Mr. Bush had an actual terrorist in his hands and even free from legal restraints and free from Miranda and due process, free from any deadlines at all, he still could not succeed at prosecuting, let alone convicting, a terrorist who may well soon have American bloods on his hands all too soon.